This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Good Tuesday morning. Time now is 4:27. Thanks for joining us. I'm Meredith Barrett.
I'm Rafael Sanchez in for Lauren Casey.
And we continue to follow breaking news from overnight. Another shooting that has left a man and woman wounded, this time in an apartment complex.
Yeah, 2 people shot while in a vehicle on the city's northwest side. This happened at the Falcon Creek Apartments. The victims are in the hospital. Police are asking for your help in finding the people responsible for the gunfire. More details on this breaking news story coming up in 2 minutes.
It is a Storm Team 6 alert day. We had a little break from the storms yesterday, but I know as I was driving in this morning, I saw some little bursts of lightning out there, and that's just a preview of what's to come maybe later today.
Hot. And it is warm and it is muggy.
Yes.
Yeah. But that lightning that you were seeing from downtown Indianapolis, that's actually all the way out in Greencastle now. That's how far away it is.
Okay.
That's how far you're seeing those flashes. So there it is on Storm Team 6 radar. It's a little bit closer now than when we first came in. But nonetheless, some of you are waking up to some thunder there and a few heavy downpours from Greencastle and now down towards the Bloomington area. And then there's those temperatures Rafael was talking about. We're in the 60s and 70s this morning, a lot of humidity. So what's going to happen throughout the day today is we'll have a few spotty storms in the morning into some Storm Team 6 alert day. But then as we get into the afternoon and evening, we'll get into another round of storms. That's going to be more of a cluster of storms coming through with the potential of some damaging wind. And we are under the slight risk for severe weather. Our high today is 90 degrees, so all the ingredients will be there for severe weather. It's more the timing and exactly what happens with these storms this morning that determines how strong they could be later on this afternoon.
All right, Todd, thank you.
The 90s are back. A lot of questions this morning, Meredith, involving a 2-year-old who was found wandering from his daycare provider. Now the state is investigating tomorrow's child daycare ministry. Now this after a 2-year-old boy was found standing in the middle of a very busy 82nd Street on Friday. His parents are grateful to a Good Samaritan who pulled him to safety, but this morning you will hear what his parents are demanding after this very serious incident.
Oh, an awfully frightening situation there. We're very thankful that Good Samaritan was in the right place at the right time. Well, another city is considering banning e-cigarettes. Columbus is considering adding no vaping signs to its no smoking ordinance. The city council is going to vote tonight about this issue. Now, they passed a proposal unanimously earlier this month. Currently, smoking is not allowed in all indoor businesses, including private clubs and bars. We'll have more details on what this could mean for you if you are someone who uses e-cigarettes in that community. We've got plenty of news, weather, and traffic here to kick off your Tuesday. We hope you stick with us. We're here until 7 on Good Morning Indiana.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Good morning on this Tuesday. A Hendricks County school teacher still has a job despite accusations of sexual misconduct. This morning, Call 6 Investigates is hearing from the school board on their decision.
Plus, a man hit by a car while biking is speaking out about bike safety in Indianapolis. The improvements recommended in the Circle City and around the country.
And no vaping signs could go up around one Indiana city. The vote happening today aimed at stopping the use of e-cigarettes. Good morning on this Tuesday, and welcome to Good Morning Indiana. I'm Rafael Sanchez in for Lauren Casey.
And I'm Meredith Barrett. It is 4:30, and Todd, some people in part of our viewing area may be awoken by some storms here momentarily.
Yeah, you know, there's a little thin band of rain that's making its way from Greencastle towards Bloomington. You can see the lightning from downtown off in the distance, and obviously, if you're close to that lightning, you're going to be hearing the thunder this morning as well. Nothing severe, that is the good news, and as we go over to Storm Team 6 radar, you can see exactly where some of these downpours are. There's one little shower west of Bloomington, so you're going to avoid the thunderstorm activity, but Greencastle and impacting I-70 there as you make your way through southern sections of Putnam County. We're dealing with some heavy rainfall and a lot of lightning, and then that storm extends up to just to the south of Crawfordsville. Otherwise, the moon was out in downtown Indianapolis with clear skies, so it really just depends where you are, what you're seeing. What we watch for later on this afternoon is this cluster of storms to impact us. In between, lots of hazy sunshine with warm and muggy conditions. And look look at that, 76 degrees right now here in Indianapolis. Our high today gets back up to near 90 degrees. We'll talk more about those storm chances that arrive later on this evening coming up in just a few minutes. But right now, let's get a first look at traffic on this Tuesday morning.
All right, Todd, thank you. We're taking a live look right now at I-70 at Arlington Avenue. You can see a lot of cars and trucks out there here at 432 on your Tuesday morning. We're going to take a turn now to I-465 at West 21st Street. A little less busy in this area, but no issues to report here on your Tuesday morning.
The time now is 4:32, and we are following breaking news from overnight. Police searching for the people responsible for opening fire on a car on the city's northwest side.
2 people were in the car when they were shot. Police say it happened just before 2 this morning in the Falcon Creek apartment complex near 43rd and Moeller Road. A man and woman were sitting in the car when the suspects started shooting. Both were taken to the hospital in serious condition. Police say the suspects took off, but they're not sure if they were walking or driving. A teacher and coach accused of sexual misconduct with a student is on paid leave and still has a job at a Hendricks County school.
And this morning, the Northwest School Board is defending the decision, Meredith, to keep Tyler Bruce. Bruce is under criminal investigation for allegedly molesting a 17-year-old student at Tri-West High School. He has not been charged. In response to questions from Call 6 Investigates, the board issued a statement saying, quote, "The board members voted based on the preponderance of the evidence delivered at the employee's requested conference with the school board, including administrators, witnesses, and legal representatives. If additional evidence is presented, the school board will act immediately upon the recommendation of our administration."
Jury selection is underway in Noblesville this morning for a gruesome case out of Clark County. Joseph Oberhansley is accused of killing his former girlfriend, Tammy Jo Blanton, in 2014, then eating parts of her remains. Potential jurors are being asked a number of personal questions, including if previous instances of murder or rape would influence their opinions. Clark County prosecutor Jeremy Mole says selecting a jury far away from Clark County is important to ensure the jurors have not been influenced by previous coverage of the case.
These jurors are being thoroughly vetted, and we are going to end up with a jury who is able to hear the case without any sorts of predispositions that are going to cause problems later on down in the case.
Jurors were told to prepare for sequestration for about 2 weeks. Opening statements in the case are expected to begin tomorrow in Clark County.
The time now is 4:34. Walkers, bicyclists, and runners will need a detour along the Monon Trail in Hamilton County. 2 areas of that trail will temporarily close for improvements. Today and Wednesday, the trail will close between 146th Street and Greyhound Pass, as well as between 156th Street and Viking Meadows. Both of these locations are in Westfield. Crews will work on the pavement there. And this project was supposed to start on Monday, but weekend rain soaked the pavement, and it needs to be dry for this type of work to be done. An Indianapolis bicyclist says drivers are ignoring bikes, putting riders in danger.
It's a problem he knows all too well after getting knocked to the ground by a car that blocked the bike lane. Evan Sheeran lives downtown and uses the bike lanes often. He has a simple message for drivers, and that's to keep an eye out for riders in the bike lane and new traffic lights telling bikers when to stop and go. Sheeran says part of the problem is cars are turning across the bike lane when it's actually not their turn to go.
You know, we all have to look out for each other on the road. We all have to share the road. And the fact that there are that I'm on a bicycle and there are people in 3,000-pound cars not noticing me, not looking out for me, is dangerous.
While we spotted multiple drivers making a left turn on red, we also spotted numerous bikers not stopping for traffic lights specifically installed for them. The new bike lanes running through Indy are an extension of the Red Line Rapid Transit Project, which opens in less than 2 weeks. Coming up in about 10 minutes, we'll look at new numbers from federal officials on why road sharing deaths are at a 30-year high. Raphael?
So is this video on your Facebook feed? Have you seen it? Dramatic video shows a school bus smashing through a fence and nearly into a crowd of people at the Zombie School Bus Races in Clarksville over the weekend. That is just some amazing video right there. Fans were recording the event in Clarksville on Saturday evening when the driver lost control and crashed into the fence just inches from a toddler in those stands. As you can see, they're wild. Take a look at that. Promoters say that when putting on a show, safety is the first priority, not entertainment.
We enjoy our race fans. We enjoy our our people, our sponsors. We just want everybody to come out and have a good time. When it all comes down to it, you know, we're in the entertainment business, and, you know, our job is to keep everyone safe.
Wow, that's amazing video there. A little boy in the stands was treated because he had some fluid in his eye, but otherwise seemed fine. The driver of the bus was also okay, and he got out and waved at the crowds afterwards.
No vaping signs could soon be coming to Columbus. Tonight, the city council is expected to make a final vote on a proposal to add e-cigarettes and vape pens to the city's smoking ordinance. The council passed the proposal unanimously earlier this month. It needs to be approved a second time. The current ordinance prohibits smoking in all indoor businesses, including private clubs and bars.
Universities across the state are preparing for the start of the new fall semester, and that includes IU Bloomington. Move-in week started on Sunday, but university officials tell us the majority of students will arrive on campus today and tomorrow. The university will kick off Welcome Week tomorrow with a slew of activities aimed at getting students familiar with campus and Bloomington as well. The first day of classes scheduled there at IU Bloomington is August the 26th.
New research hopes to improve the safety of bicyclists. After the break, the recommended improvements for bike lanes across the country.
Plus, can weather cause insects to change their behaviors? Now, straight ahead, why scientists say yes, and the creepy crawly they can say become aggressive after the hurricanes. Let's check in now with Todd. Hey, Todd.
Yeah, good morning, Rafael. It's a Storm Team 6 alert day as we're dealing with some storms here this morning. These are non-severe, but obviously some lightning and very heavy rainfall through parts of the area. The better severe threat later this afternoon and this evening. More on that coming up with Good Morning Indiana continues in your Storm Team 6 forecast. The time now is 4:38. We'll be right back.
Drive at Honda of Fishers.
Welcome back. It is 4:41 on your Tuesday morning. This is a live look at I-465 at US 421 Michigan Road. Now, it does look like these cars are moving slowly, but that is just our traffic camera there. Things are moving up to speed in that area if this is part of your morning commute.
More news on this Tuesday. You can look what to expect the day ahead. U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services Acting Director will hold a briefing at the Texas-Mexico border later today to address what they call the ongoing crisis at the southern border. Customs and Border Protection announced Monday they recorded a significant drop in illegal crossings in the months of June and July. And Democratic presidential candidates in Iowa today doing something that Native Americans say doesn't happen often: courting their vote. Several will attend the second day of a forum in Sioux City to meet with tribal leaders about health care, education, and violence against Native American women.
A travel ban is being expanded in order to prevent U.S. citizens from traveling to North Korea. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo reauthorized the ban yesterday. The State Department says there are serious risks still for Americans visiting the country, including arrest and long-term detention. The measure restricts the use of a U.S. passport to travel in, through, or to North Korea. It does allow for some citizens, like aid workers and journalists, to apply for a special validation to make the trip. The ban will remain in place through August of 2020.
In our Democracy 2020 coverage, it's the economic battle that will likely continue into the 2020 election. As economists warn of a pending recession, the president is confident there's nothing to worry about. ABC News has learned the White House is in discussions to potentially push for additional tax cuts to counter any possible recession. But it's partly the first tax cut, along with a trade war with China, that has 3 out of 4 economists expecting the country to slide into recession by 2021.
We're doing tremendously well. Our consumers are rich. I gave a tremendous tax cut, and they're loaded up with money.
A typical warning sign for the markets: an inverted yield curve, which historically predicts recessions. That happens when the interest rates on the short-term bonds are higher than long-term bonds.
A creepy discovery after a new study says spiders become more aggressive during hurricanes. Researchers found that spiders that live in storm-prone areas can become less docile after a major storm. They say colonies begin to aggressively pursue food and produce more eggs. The spiderlings also have a better chance of surviving into early winter. A team gathered the data by monitoring spiders during Hurricanes Florence and Michael during last year. yeah, that's not a job that I think I would want.
Happy Halloween.
Yeah, seriously, seriously. All right, Todd. Well, we have some storms headed our way, but hopefully they don't make it rain giant spiders or anything.
All right, that's a very interesting thing. At least we don't have to worry about hurricanes. How about this, though? Look off to the west here, and we'll give this just a second. You can see a pretty good vivid lightning display taking place, and these are some thunderstorms that are off near the Greencastle area. So as we go over to Storm Team 6 radar, you can see exactly where they are. Here's the one lightning strike up in Crawfordsville with some heavy rainfall. That heavy rain is just south of Interstate 74, and then here's the one that you saw the lightning strikes on the camera looking off towards the west. A lot of lightning here now coming out of the Greencastle area, pushing into western portions of Hendricks County this morning. So Danville and Plainfield, you'll be up next, and this is impacting Interstate 70 there as you work your way through southern sections of Putnam County. Nothing severe here, but some of these storms will likely make their way into downtown Indianapolis. So some of you, especially if you get out the door within the next hour or so, may have to contend with a heavy downpour, but we are not expecting those storms to become severe here this morning. Notice this break, and that's going to be key to how strong the storms will be later on this afternoon. The more sunshine we see, and we should have a good amount of hazy sunshine, will allow storms to build more quickly throughout the afternoon hours as this wave of storms that you see in Iowa will strengthen and make its way eastward. And that's why the Storm Prediction Center has a good chunk of the state, almost the entire state, just a little sliver to the north, under the slight risk for severe weather. They scaled the enhanced risk back a little bit and pushed it into portions of Illinois, but it's not out of the question when they get this updated again around 8 o'clock this morning that enhanced risk could make its way back into western portions of the state, and a lot of that, again, will be determined on what happens after these storms go through this morning, if the atmosphere can recover enough. But anyway, you look at it, it's a hot and humid day with storm potential here throughout the course of the afternoon and evening hours. The middle half of the day, including your lunch hour, should be just fine. And then here come these storms in during the evening drive, and they could be strong to severe, with the wind being the main threat as they move through. And then by the time we get to about 8 o'clock, the severe threat should be over. So the timing, not great with it being during the course of the evening drive. So make sure you kind of plan ahead. If those storms maybe are moving in as you're getting ready to walk out the door, just let them go on by and stay in the office or wherever you are a little bit longer. We're in the 70s right now. It's an extremely muggy morning for us. And throughout the day today, we'll see highs once again climb up to right around 90 degrees. We may not get there if these storms roll in throughout the afternoon hours, but certainly the potential will be there with those storms again arriving 4 or 5 o'clock this evening. Yesterday, 91 degrees. So 2 days in a row, we are in the 90s. Today is the potential for the third. The storms will fade as we go into the evening hours as temperatures drop into the 70s. And here's a look at your 7-day planning forecast. Still hot tomorrow, around 89 degrees. Thursday's kind of the transition day, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday shaping up to be great days here. Lower humidity and cooler temperatures. In fact, Saturday, look for highs potentially only in the upper 70s.
Todd, thank you so much. Let's head out west where we're seeing some signs of lightning. This is Hendricks County. They're at I-70 and State Road 267. As you can see, light traffic this morning, but all is moving well there on the cities west of Indianapolis. All is well. And then let's head up north to Hamilton County. This is I-69 and State Road 37, which we normally know is jam-packed, but it's still too early. Folks are waking up. You heard Todd's forecast. Take it easy today. We may see some rain, we may see some lightning, but all will be well. The time now is 4:48. Meredith?
The safety of bicyclists in Indianapolis and nationwide are a concern as the number killed sharing the road with drivers continues to grow. According to the Governor's Highway Safety Association, pedestrian deaths are at a 30-year high. New research hopes to reduce that number by looking at what can be done to best protect bikers. According to the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, bike lanes that are raised and protected are the most effective. Protected bike lanes have a barrier-like curb or landscaping between the lane and traffic. Lanes painted on the side of the road also improve safety.
The community needs to take a closer look at some of the characteristics that make protected bike lanes even more safe, so that we can continue to build more protected bike lanes that are doing a better job of protecting cyclists from all kinds of injuries.
The research says drivers aren't the only threat to bikers. Streetcar and railroad tracks were also a problem, along with parked cars that block bike lanes.
So more and more kids are taking dietary supplements, even though there isn't much data to show their safety or even their effectiveness. Beyond multivitamins, 1 in 3 children take supplements like fish oil, melatonin, and probiotics. The most popular are used to help with sleep and energy. Doctors do warn that high doses of vitamins and herbal supplements can upset children's stomachs. Those with caffeine also have been linked to heart issues. Now, supplements are not regulated and may not all be as safe for children.
A free Disneyland ticket honored after being lost for decades. Coming up, one woman's trip after finding it 34 years later.
And an Indianapolis daycare now under investigation after a toddler wandered into the street. New at 5, hear how the mother is now demanding many answers. But first, this from Court TV.
I'm Vinny Politan. Today on Court TV, our coverage of Florida versus Michael Draka. It's a case involving Florida's Stand Your Ground law. Michael Draka claiming self-defense as he shot and killed Marquise McLaughlin outside of a convenience store. The whole thing caught on video. Today, we will take you inside the courtroom for a rare look at the process of jury selection. We're live in Clearwater today on Court TV.
And don't forget, you can watch the all-new Court TV live on your mobile device by visiting CourtTV.com. We'll be right back.
Impact-resistant lenses for kids 13 and under.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. The time now is 4:54. Taking a look at your traffic this morning. I-70 at Post Road. As you can see, traffic is building there this morning. All is moving well there and across central Indiana. Have a good day.
A high school basketball jersey believed to be worn by former President Barack Obama auctioned off for a pretty penny over the weekend. The basketball jersey thought to have been worn by the 44th president of the United States while he was attending Punahou School sold for $120,000. A portion of the sale will go back to the school. Obama is known as an avid basketball fan. His annual March Madness bracket predictions were a staple during his tenure in the White House.
So Disneyland in Anaheim, California, honoring a free admission ticket by a Canadian woman won during a visit, not yesterday or last year, but 34 years ago. Tamia Richardson was 14 years old when she won the ticket on August 27th, 1985 in a giveaway celebrating the park's 30th anniversary. Well, she forgot about the past until recently when she stumbled upon it in a box of keepsakes. She took her 2 teen daughters to Disneyland on Thursday, and the park honored the past and gave her admission to Disneyland and the California Adventure Park. Now, that ticket back then was worth $16.50 back in 1985. Todd, you weren't even born. Nor were you, Meredith, right? You guys are so young. But today, that ticket, $199.
Okay, so really worked in her favor.
Yeah, right.
Saved her a lot of money.
That's what I call a deal.
Yeah. And there's probably a whole heck of a lot more now at the park than there was in 85.
Because they're at least $100 some now, aren't they?
Well, he just said $199.
$199. I love 1985 and the prices.
Yeah.
And I was alive in 1985.
So young.
I wasn't.
You guys are so young. Go ahead.
So, all right. Outside right now, we are dealing with a few isolated thunderstorms making their way through the area. Nothing severe, but these will bring some heavy downpours in and around the metro area within the next hour or so. You notice the temperatures. We are warm. We are muggy this morning. 76 in Bloomington as well as Indy. 68 in Logansport. Highs today once again climbing up to right around 90 in the city. Probably don't quite get there in some locations off to the west because the storms move in. The storms this afternoon will have the potential to be strong to severe. We'll talk more about those coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues. The time now is 4:57. Stay with us. We'll be back in just a few minutes.